The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And what do we have? Well, we've got the S&P up almost 5 points, kind of drifting a little higher, just a tick, tick, tick higher. 25.83.81 is the last tick I have on that. Dow's up 90, Nasdaq's up almost 8 points, crude's off 61 cents. Gold, the big mover today, off about 21 bucks. And well, a little trapdoor out there on gold today. And we'll talk about that a little bit. As I've been saying, what I want is kind of a head fake to the downside. So we'll see if we get that much movement out of it in the charts over the next few days. I don't think there's anything happening in the next day or two. But the rest of it is just kind of a quiet day. This, of course, is options rollover. So if we're up a few points today, then I'm expecting us to be down a couple of points tomorrow. Wednesday will be light volume. Friday we'll probably have some kind of idea on Black Friday numbers and crowds. Monday, a lot better. I will be out on Wednesday. So my dulcet tones will not be around here for Wednesday. And, of course, TFNN is closed on Friday. So we'll look at that. Other things going on, that's it. This is going to be kind of a light couple of days out here. Don't think that there's going to be a lot of money made in the indexes. Probably much more, and things like commodities tend to move when the markets don't. And we got a little bit of that today. Wednesday going to be a very light volume day, half day on Fridays. So it's going to be Monday before we ramp up with anything else. But at that point, if sales are pretty good, then we probably look for some continuation in the retails, which have been a little stronger in the last week or so on earnings. Not the end of the world as a lot of people thought. But again, markets never go straight up or straight down, except this market, which went straight up for a while, for the most part, with just some minute 1 or 2 or 3 day pullbacks. So what do we have out here? Of course, the SMHs are up a little higher. I was looking at AMAT. We'll take a look at that one, but a pretty ugly candle on Friday. You never know on options expiration whether there's bigger things afoot, i.e. trying to keep the price down on Friday. And again, that's why I kind of hate making plays or a lot of conclusion, let me put it that way, about movements of stocks on expiration day. There's just too much. This is yet another month where we saw Apple, basically expire pennies away from, a huge swing spot for options. 170 in this case was, what was it, up 18 cents or 17 cents or something above that 170 mark. It just happens all the time, and it can't be coincidence when it does that. As always, we like to start the show with a little bit of history, a little bit of news, and then we'll get into some charts.
The following takes place.
I've already done that one. We need to do this one.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeat. Well, he did that after that again, too. Just a little bit of history repeating. On this day in 1985, 2 years after initially being announced, Microsoft finally ships the first version of Windows. Originally slated to be shipped in April of 1984, the long-delayed call caused skeptics to begin to accuse Windows of being vaporware due to the relatively high demands of then current PC technology. Windows 1.0 was generally considered to be too slow to be usable. It wasn't until Windows 3 that the operating system began significant sales. Everybody just continued to use DOS. But this is kind of interesting in technology because there's really two, let me put it, 1985, 1986, you can really see I can't even say it, a tale of two different methods between Apple and Microsoft. Bill Gates was heavily influenced by a Japanese method that they basically say, let's just do this. Let's make it 1% better every day we work on it. Let's just make it 5% better each year. And that's going to build and build and build, and pretty soon everybody's going to want a Toyota and everything else. That is, of course, when Toyotas were really starting to get better. But I want to say Zhaijing. I can't remember the actual Japanese term, but it's that. It's just, let's make it a little better each time, a little better each time. And that was Microsoft's philosophy. Apple and Steve Jobs' philosophy was we're going to make something that's new, no one has seen, and therefore it's going to be radical and it has to be life-changing when it comes out. And we saw the tale of those two. And for most technology, it is we'll make it a little slightly better that wins the long-term race. But we can see it's been kind of a long horse race back and forth over all the years. But on this day, Windows, as it was out, I couldn't even stand it. I was a big Amiga user at that time, and it was laughable. Even the Mac was laughable compared to the Amiga at the time, but I was a big fan of it. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Why it's a little quiet right now, wanted to answer some emails. Somebody asked me about encryption, and I said that that has been a couple of weeks ago. I said with quantum computing that encryption was basically worthless. And someone shot back and said, yeah, but a one-time pad, which is a way of doing encryption, where every message gets its own new code, so you never use one more than once, is unbreakable. Well, in theory, it's unbreakable. But, this has been used since the 1920s. And we basically got our hands on a lot of traffic between the Soviets from about 1944 to 1950. And the thing is, once you kind of get the camel's nose under the tent, there are ways to break it. And yes, we ended up reading about 50 or 60% of all the Soviets' traffic between their embassies. We found out who especially was selling our nuclear secrets. The Rosenbergs went to the electric chair over it. So even one-time pads are breakable. And we'll talk a little more about this when we come back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Tiger TV
TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Anyway, there was some of the person that emailed me was taking exception to the fact that I said that literally encryption is over if we're talking about encryption before quantum encryption and quantum computing. Of course, the Chinese are already using this. We may be using it. We just do not know about it. It's public knowledge for that. But it's very tough to have security. Even people paid. I found out just in the last week, there's some more documents coming out about the WikiLeaks thing and the guy that dumped all the documents from Hawaii. Come to find out that he told everybody that he needed their passwords because he needed to do something to the server. And of course, as soon as he gave them the passwords, he copied everything they did. Now, this is 25 people in the security community that he got to cough up the passwords. So if you ever wonder how he got all that stuff and then left to go over to Hong Kong, they all gave it to him. And that's where encryption always seems to, there's a couple of reasons. Either you do something wrong or literally somebody does something stupid, like in the case of all those documents in 2012. But you find out that it's very interesting to find out that the government probably not ever telling the truth. The people that take the data and publish it, like WikiLeaks, probably not telling the entire truth. But kind of interesting also in the last week that we found out that, of course, all the oversight that the NSA has been doing on phone calls in the United States, they originally said that it basically was good for them getting rid of 57 different acts of terror that would have been caused if they hadn't turned it up. That went to 16, and also in the new stuff from the NSA, it went to 1 and now to 0. So if one of the things you have to, these guys do nothing but lie for a living. So you have to know about that. Now I got a question here about Qualcomm. Qualcomm will do a deal at 79. Hard to tell, but certainly in the next day or so, Qualcomm is going to make its deal with the what is it, NTFI, NTLX, the what is that, NTRI? I'll think of the symbol here in a minute. That is the near field communications chip in Apple and the rest of them. It really hadn't become that big a thing yet, but Qualcomm has been trying to buy them. That will just be one more ton of patents in the quiver of Qualcomm. So, that pretty much puts Apple on the outs for not just the modem, but now for the chip. That's probably going to be the NXPI. Yeah, thank you. Just having a little blank on that. They make that near field communications chip. It hadn't been a big thing yet. Maybe it catches on. But certainly now there are going to be more things that Apple doesn't want to buy from Qualcomm, and they can't get around the real patents on it again. So we'll find out. Qualcomm's just going to be a bigger thorn in the edge of people that hate it, like Apple. And there's not an easy way for Apple to get around it. So we'll see what they do in the future. But it's going to take years for Apple to basically change the long-term patent portfolio of Qualcomm. Could this be the NXPI be a little thing of a poison pill? And that could be true. So we need to see what happens when these things go together. It may be harder for Avago, aka Broadcom, to actually buy them after this. But we'll see. This is something that's probably going to take 6 to 9 months to resolve. So there is an implied put underneath Qualcomm until they say that there isn't. So trying to think of anything else that happened over the weekend. I think that's about it. So let's go to some charts here early on. I want to talk about some of the stocks that are moving. Friday, the chart looked very poor, or at least the candle looked very poor on AMAT. As I said, you got to watch what happens on AMAT today off the side of a options expiration day. Is this great? No. Was it better earlier in the day? Yes. You didn't fall apart today, which is kind of interesting, but I'm going to be watching this on the next couple of days. Of course, the SMH is a little stronger than that, up a buck today, and it got to 104.65, still 104.30 as we speak, but no sign in this one either. A lot of these need to close below the 3x3 if you're looking for some bearish action. It has not done that yet, and it doesn't look like it's going to get anywhere close today, but we need to start drifting up a little bit farther and not have a bad hair day in the SMHs. Any bad hair day would kind of put in a double repo pattern on these higher prices. Don't know what it did out here, but Jack in the Box down a couple of bucks. This one, after having a fairly good day on high volume back on the 14th of November, up on 1.5 million shares, just down on 500, or let's call it 600,000 shares today, with a little doji. Not a lot of stocks really moving that much today. The Fizz up 7% today. This is National Beverage Company. Nice pop. Now, this is another one that you need to watch tomorrow for a possible gap down. If you get that gap down, then you do have an abandoned candle out there. So kind of keep a look at some of these that might be showing reversals over the next couple of days. But that one's kind of interesting. Nice pop up here. Good volume, but kind of a nasty looking doji so far today. Let's see what else we have. Weibo. I always think weevils. Those are nasty little things that grow in cereal when I hear Weibo. Anyway, WB, nice ABC pattern up here. This one did go higher. Watch the close on this one, 122.49 for the high so far today. Energy's good off the top, but if we're going to find some of these starting to roll over, these are the ones I'm starting to see. NTES, which is well, it had a big move last week. Another one with a kind of fairly nasty candle today. Not quite a total bearish engulfing on this thing. Close. It had a 3-gap pattern. Talked about that last week. 1, 2, 3. And watch out for this one too. We'll be back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we're back, as we said, take a look at NetEase, but you got three nice gaps. You got the dark cloud cover out here today. I'm going to look at this one a little bit more tonight, but keep an eye on some of these stocks. If we're going to pull back, then we're going to see some of these give some fairly bright signals of reversals, like AMAT. Now we've got NetEase, just a couple so far. We're going to need a few more to get anything moving, but just keep an eye on some of these things that have broken out and have the possibility of pulling back a little bit. I do think that between now and the end of the year, there's probably not a lot of money to be made in the individual indices. It will probably be individual stocks that have the big move. Generally, you don't have wide price moves in the bigger indexes late in the year. In fact, the average, I think, is about 1% to 1.5% from Thanksgiving till the end of the year. That's enough to really move stocks that have high short interest, but other than that, not a lot of reasons to move out. Now, we saw gold kind of open the trap door today after having a little pop higher, and still have lower highs and higher lows. We're pretty much getting, let's go back here and do this again. Come on, where are you at here? Did I get it? There we go. I'll zoom in here a little bit. Still have what I think is kind of a nice triangle pattern developing. And as I said before, why these things pop back and forth. I've never had a lot of good luck in trading these. I've had much better luck waiting for them to do a reversal. And what I'm saying on that is once you get this far into these decreasing highs and lows, if you get about 3/4 of the way in, these things will probably break to the wrong side about 80% of the time. And if I was thinking about going long, I still think that what you're looking for is kind of a big day with these things maybe like on the GLD getting down to maybe 119 or 118 and then doing a little reversal, and then the big rallies come. If you are bearish on gold, you kind of want this thing to pop up to 124 on that much juice and then give you some kind of reversal signal. But the plays that way tend to be a lot better for me than getting chewed up in basically what is kind of a messy move in gold around these areas. So I just haven't played it, but we can look at it. Okay, so we have that. To question about Microsoft, do I see anything else happening in it? And no, as I said, what you're looking for is somewhere around 81 bucks. I don't see anything that changes this. It could come back kind of light and then set up for a rally, maybe back up to this 86.20 toward the end of the year or first part of next year. I don't see anything out here changing that. You've got a nice gap up with 71 million shares. Friday, we're down with 22 million shares. Today, just a little less than 10 million shares. So you might not even get that 81 bucks, but my guess is that 81 bucks is probably going to be fairly decent support. To people bad-mouthing Facebook over the weekend. Of course, it didn't do much in the way of earnings, kind of popped down a little bit, but nothing to write home about. It's been going sideways, but a lot more, I'm going to just say, from Silicon Valley and people surrounding it, a lot of anger, I'm going to say, from Facebook, even from the people that have traditionally been big backers of it in Silicon Valley. They now kind of look at Mr. Zuckerberg with a jaundiced eye that they have not before, at least in the media. And a lot more people, even in Silicon Valley, calling for at least some level of oversight for these companies. Amazon had a big upgrade today and so far has done nothing. They upped this to like 1,360 bucks or something, and nobody cares. So that's kind of a good indication, not so much the news, but how it reacts to the news. And, you know, you really want to look for this thing somewhere around 1040 for the support level. I don't know if you're going to get that, but that is really, if you're not in it already, that's the only play to look at. Okay. A question about NVIDIA, NVDA. Still nothing on this one. It's just going sideways and consolidating after earnings. You kind of got your one tip down here when it got down to the, what is it, 209.98, or actually low, 207.80 on the 15th. That was about it. You got about 1 day. It's up a little bit on light volume. I can't imagine this thing really rolling over before the end of the year without the tax deal blowing up. So there's not much in that. Question, I talked about the IYT making a bottom. Do I think it still has? Yes. Looks like a pretty decent bottom out here. The energy wasn't all that exciting. Would I buy it to go long here? Not really. If things are kind of in a downtrend already, they may have made a bottom, but are they going to bounce a whole lot? The answer is no. You want something that either has been going sideways and gaining short interest, or that has already made a bottom and people short all the way back higher. I just don't see much in that right now. Okay, got a question on the IBB. Again, this is one of these things where it's kind of been sliding back. Your energy was a little bit too much on the way down from the October 6th high. Could you bounce out here to maybe 320 for Christmas? I think you can. But again, the kind of a small potatoes trade. If you bought it at 302, then you can probably stay in it. But I'm suspecting that 320, unless this thing gets some juice or some news, that 320 is probably where resistance comes in before the end of the year. Let me look through some other ones out here if there's anything out here. Question about IWM. Do I see anything in that one? Take a look. Russell's. You're just back into this candle with no volume. And I've got a sneeze here. Well, I had to sneeze, and it was right at the break and everything. But I've got my Kill Bill theme here for my sneezing theme now. We'll be back after this.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And a question out here about HLF, which is Herbalife. What do I think of this as a potential short squeeze play going into the end of the year? Well, on Friday, there was only 7%, which isn't fairly big. There's always kind of a base level of shorting for market makers in the stock each day to keep a liquid market. They'll sell and then they'll buy it back. A couple of days ago, on Monday and Tuesday, that was 17, 18%. So right now, you kind of do have a fairly decent signal that this November 15th low at 64.25 was a low. You had people shorting it about double what you had on Friday. So you could get that. I think that there's ones with less overhead. The thing I would think, though, is that, you're here today at what, 65, 66, what is this? $66. You're going to have pretty heavy resistance levels at about 70 before the end of the year. So that's about $4 higher. I don't think that there's a buyout in the future of this. Probably going to find more people shorting it. Could it go up $4? It could. I think that there are better stocks out there. But you probably have a decent play at $70 on this. So, okay. Better out there, yeah. Better fish in the sea. Okay. One of the reasons Herbalife, I would probably say I'd worry about it is it does have a lot of regulatory overhead that's always going to be against it in the future, at least. I want some stuff that there isn't a lot of regulatory overhead. Since they changed the laws on advertising supplements and a lot of the other stuff, even though some of these things have been bouncing, I don't see that Federal Trade Commission stuff changes anytime soon. We'll see. Take a look at that. I've been watching one that I thought would give me a signal if things are headed lower in Silicon Valley. But again, these things are actually turned into more like the pattern like gold. And as we said, you really want to look at these things setting up lower highs and lower lows. You basically have this in Digital Realty Trust, Again, it does do cloud services and other things, but a lot of startups go to this company, and it's kind of a good bellwether, I suspect, for how things are going out here. But until this breaks higher or lower out of this triangle pattern, again, I suspect that we're probably going to get a bounce to the weak side first, and you're going to want to fade the other side of that. So if this thing would break lower and then not have a lot of volume, then I probably think maybe we've got a little bit more to go when we start looking at Silicon Valley. I just don't see a lot right now that says that there's going to be any downside before the first of the year. Maybe the volume really cuts out and we don't see anything, but I don't know. Right now, I'm saying that there's probably an 80% chance the tax bill passes, and that's probably all you're going to need for these giant behemoth companies that can bring back lots of cash, and that cash will slosh around in the stock market. So it's kind of all up to I'd say it's 80% that the tax bill will pass with the 20% corporate rate. And even though people will be mad about everything else, I think the only thing that the market thinks about overall right now in technology is if that 20% cap rate goes through these companies with lots of money overseas. You might see some moves in real estate. You may see some moves in the sectors. But for the most part, if you're talking about the NASDAQ and the bigger markets, it's all about the techs, and it's all about stocks like Digital Realty Trust as one to keep an eye out there whether or not this thing fails or not. Let's see, what else we have? Got a lot of email here over the week and today that I said I'd get to. So what was the one that I wanted to get to that I thought about, but can't remember right off the top of my head? Oh, it was the TLT. Okay, let's take a quick look at that. Okay. And of course, you can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. Come on, Mr. TLT. And again, these aren't the patterns I like to play. Higher lows, lower highs. I don't know if there's a lot of movement in this thing, but again, it's very hard to get a good read on this. You're up a little bit off the open today on lighter volume, but just not that much out here that I can hang my hat on. Of course, when you look at the dollar index, it's up 94 bucks again, up 40 cents on DXZ7. So even with the light volume out here, there's just a lot of these stocks that I think that are going to make a bigger signal. And I'm not one for chasing dollars in front of steamrollers. I kind of like better patterns. I have the ability to not play a lot more than I think a lot of other people. Question about IBM out here. Again, didn't quite make the previous low, 139.13. Saw a lot of articles about IBM this weekend. Again, I think that it's 9 months or a year down the line between before the next big thing that they have that could actually save them long term comes to roost. So I still think that if you wanted to look at IBM, even though some of the things have been a little bit better, that 139.13 is probably the only place that makes sense to try to play this one in the near future. Question about, I was talking about CLAC and its bad candle on Friday too. After earnings, it opened up higher, went lower. No follow through today, but again, today's options rollover. Tomorrow is going to tell us a great deal more on both CLAC and AMAT and some of these other ones. If you get yet another reversal out of this one, closed below 101.51, I would look very hard if I was long the SMHs about taking my cash and run, because a couple of these are kind of big out here. Not much of a bounce today in CLAC so far. Tomorrow, much bigger deal on the next day of options roll. We'll be back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
And we're back. Anyway, as I said before, tomorrow's going to tell us a lot more. Today's the first day of options rollover. If the market tends to be up today, it's about 75% chance that the market will be down a little bit tomorrow. They want a little wiggle room, and of course that takes us into expiration for December, and that will be quad witching on the, what is that? It's pretty early, I think. Come on, where's it at here? That's on the 15th. So, you don't even get fairly deep into December before we're already looking at options expiration on the 15th. And as I said before, 80% of the time, maybe 85% of the time, depending on which year you look at, whatever price that is the lowest 8 trading days before expiration is going to be the price that you close back over. even if it's just a point. There's just not a lot of downside to options expiration. You need a fairly big setup to play it short. And of course, we had that big move last Thursday that kind of set up. I was a little surprised that we didn't have a little more action on Friday, which makes me think that there probably this 5 points that we get up here today could be given back tomorrow. Dow looks a little stronger. NASDAQ also looks a little stronger, up 7.5 points. Crude continues to be weak. That's kind of been a little bit of wind at the sail of the bigger indexes like the S&P, but oil rigs are going back up again, and that's going to keep a lid on it, along with apparently the Keystone Pipeline now coming in. So maybe there's going to be a few supply and demand issues coming into crude, but at the moment it's all supply, and I don't see that changing. I think we're probably going to get more rigs again this week, but I will be back tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to. And I don't know what it'll be tonight, but flip a switch or turn on some water, and you know it will be time to buy some Tiger dollars. Check out my newsletters.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.